Right, so this is the last video of the main series for the build series of my setup. So what I'm going to be focusing now is on the ground station. So that obviously comprises of my transmitter, radio, and how I've modified it and kitted it up. My goggles for obviously the video side, and again how I've modified that. And the main beef of it all is the ground station, so the antenna tracker and how I've kitted it up for my flight. So I'll start with the ground station on the tripod, the antenna tracker and whatnot. So where do I even begin? So I've got it on a tripod, obviously, and my whole setup is based off of an antenna tracker. So I'm using the MyFlyDream Crossbow Mini antenna tracker, and how I've set mine up is for it to work with Wi-Fi. So I've got, if you see here, where's my pointer? I'll use this. I use the tweezers. So here you can see I have three Wi-Fi modules. So this one here that is currently connected to via a balance lead, a 3S battery balance lead connector. I have this one is connected to ESP Now, flash with ESP Now firmware connected to the external ELRS module 868. So that's the beta FPV A68 TX module. Then obviously if I was running the internal Radio Master 2.4 ELRS module, I would connect it to this one. And then if I was now to go back to using Crossfire, then I'll connect it to this one, because this one's it's flashed with the Crossfire firmware and whatnot. So that's how it runs. It runs with Wi-Fi. And I have the breakout board. So this is the breakout board that I use to connect to each of the Wi-Fi modules. But if for whatever reason the Wi-Fi modules don't work, because TBS and ELRS are all using the TBS Crossfire protocol anyways, I would use the CRS, the Crossfire protocol. I would use this, which is, if all else fails, I have this backup genuine HM10 Bluetooth module, which I have connected up. And yeah, this will work with Crossfire telemetry, and it connects directly to a Bluetooth module inside my radio. So how do I turn it on? Normally you just click the switch and then it will turn on. It should turn on. It should be on. Not sure if it is on or off. I imagine it is on, but it's not getting any link. That's because the plane isn't on. If I turn on the plane, then it'll get a link, but I'm not turning on the plane just yet. Also, there's a JST plug here, and that's probably the other reason why it's not on. So if I plug that in, bear with me. So yeah. And plug it in now. There you go. Now the light is on, and now the LED light is on. So you can see now that it is on and it's working properly. So that's that side of things. And of course I have a Bluetooth module standalone, so that I can move the tripod wherever and it gains local sats. I don't know if it's gaining any local. No, it's not gaining any local sats right now because we're indoors. So moving on to this side of the unit. So I have another switch here to turn this stuff on. So if I turn this on, everything's connected, so it's fine. A lot's going on here, so let me break it down. Here you can see I have the sorry, I'm not putting the camera. Here I have the Walksnail VRX system, the HD VRX system. So, and I have 4 helical 18 turn 16 dB antennas connected to it. It's because again my goal is to reach 50k with at least one of the 3 planes, I should be able to reach 50k. I would imagine that plane, the Cloudbuster, should be able to do it, no diff. But hopefully I can do it with either the C1 Chaser or even with the RV Jet as well. But we'll see. So yeah, that's how it's configured. That's how it's connected. Here, so here underneath, you can see is a this is a HDMI wireless transmitter. So it's the HDMI is connected to the HDMI unit on here, and basically it acts as a relay system. So normally, like when you use analog, you would have like a 5.8 gigahertz relay system. If you're using, let's say, 1.2 gigahertz for the video. So on my system, I have this is a 60 gigahertz, sorry, a 60 gigahertz transmission feed, which relays the digital signal directly to my goggles. And it works fine. It works. And the latency is quite low as well. So, you know, but when you're flying wings, especially long range, you don't need high latency. So, sorry, you don't need low latency. So it's a non-issue. So yeah, that's all bound up, and it just works. And the nice thing is, it gets power directly from the HDMI side of the VRX, so I don't have to like power it separately. So that's the digital side of things. The analog side of things, so remember what I said, I have this 2.4 gigahertz for audio only, not video, just audio. So I have a shapeshifter VAS 2.4 connected to it, because this is the only antenna. And I've got it configured in the long range config, so it's doing 7.5 dB. And this is the only antenna that can go all the way down to 350 hertz. So that's where I have it configured. And I have a speaker so that I can hear the audio from the ground station, but that is also connected to a Y cable. And I think somewhere here, yeah, so sorry, it's a bit weird. So underneath here, you can see this, which is a Bluetooth transmitter, again, which is connected directly to one of my earphones. So it's bound to my earphones so that I can also, you know, wirelessly hear the audio from the plane from this setup. So that's how I have it. I've turned it off now because it's just draining battery. But yeah, that's how I have it set up, and yeah, it all works, all tested. That was my workaround. You know, this is years of experience trying to figure out the most optimal way of getting everything, all that I wanted in one go, and I think it turned out pretty well. It's nice and compact, and it's not stressful on the servos. It's actually pretty light, and it'll get the job done. Even if I don't reach 50k, you know. Anything really around 40k, this should definitely be able to reach 40k on any of these builds. So yeah, and that's 40k out, mind you, and then 40k back, not in total. So 80k in total, basically 80 to 100k. I'm fine with it. So moving on from that, we have, I think I'll talk about the radio. So I'm using a Radio Master TX16S, the version 2 version. You know, modified it. So it's got different sticks. These sticks are a lot nicer, and I have it centered. So some of the pots or sticks kind of give me noises to notify when I have the center point, because obviously I can't see when I have goggles on. I have this little stand here, or mount, for my phone, because I have Bluetooth modules inside connected, which I will get telemetry from. If I just change, if you look here, sorry, one sec, so yeah, I have a Lua script, so that and then telemetry connected onto a different phone, not the one I'm recording with now. And then obviously I charge it, so I have a charger that will connect into the phone to keep it on, And yeah, I use the INAV telemetry app, or I use the Runcam Fly app. They both work. And I have telemetry, just more information. I love data. I'm a natural data analyst, so I just love having different forms of data for redundancy purposes, and just more information, the better, especially when we're dealing with these kits and stuff, because when we're flying miles out, we don't really know what's going on. We can only go based off of the information we have. So the more data you have, the better, basically. So yeah, looking at the back of it, so you can see I have this USB to JST converter. These buttons here allow me to turn it on and off, or to turn off the readings and whatnot. And then I have a JST plug, and then the batteries that I have are, these are custom made. These are 2S2P 960 milliamps, so plenty of juice. And I've got JSTs to connect into this. I have an XT to connect into the goggles, and so on and so forth. And then obviously you can see here on the back, I have a Beta FPV 868 megahertz 2-watt. This is the 2-watt V2 version. So that's why I have this little JST connector here. Sorry, XT30 connector, which I can plug in if it does go up to 2 watts. And I need the extra power. So antenna wise, I've got 2 antennas. So one Moxon antenna for the internal radio master module, if I ever want to use that. And the external module, I'm using a VAS shapeshifter because it is the best. If I want to fly far out, then I'll put it in long range mode. Right now it's in omni mode. Honestly, it's the best. It is actually the best transmitter antenna, period. If you've noticed with my builds, I only use 3 antennas typically. TrueRC, ProDrone, typically for control, TrueRC, and then VAS as well. Lumineer I'm using on the C1 Chaser, but that was a joint effort by TrueRC, so yeah. On the inside of this radio, I have some Bluetooth modules, and I also have an ELRS receiver as well. So I'll explain why when I go to the goggles. So here's the goggles. Goggles X works now. And on the back here, you can see, sorry, it's pretty bad. On the back here, you can see the VRX. So this is the RX for the wireless transmission system, for the ground station. And here, this is the Bluetooth module, which is what I would use. So it's not a Bluetooth module. This is the head tracking unit that I've clipped onto it. So it's a DTS-SY something module. It's very cheap, but it's very capable because it literally does everything. All 3-axis head tracking, it works just fine. And because I can hook up an ELRS, you can flash ELRS receivers. So I have one in here. This one is I've flashed it as a transmitter, and then there's one inside the actual radio connected to a spare UART, which is flashed as a receiver, and they communicate with each other wirelessly to send the head tracking information to each other. So if I just pause this and turn on my plane, I should be able to demonstrate wireless head tracking. Okay, so I've turned the UAV on, and as you can see, as I move this, if I just put it in frame, look at that. And looks down, look down. So yeah, wireless head tracking. And this unit that I'm using is so cheap. It's like, it was less than 40 quid, right? And it does everything. I'm using the Head Tracker 2.2 system. All the other ones, the Arduino one, even when you press the button, for example, like it audibly, you can configure it for it to say reset. It's the best. Like all the other ones, they're either too expensive or they're too DIY. This one is a complete board unit and it just works out of the box. Well, not out of the box. You have to flash it and calibrate it and whatnot. When you're calibrating it, make sure that the goggles are on so that it calibrates properly. But yeah, and you get look, with these ELRS receivers, if you flash them with the correct firmware, you get wireless head tracking. It's so cool. Here I have a 3-way splitter connected into this, to goggles, and into my relay system. And yeah, and I have an extension cable, which ideally it should go into the battery on the radio. So I only have one cable coming out. Like it's a dream, guys. But yeah, that's how it works. I don't know if this now is going to. Okay, it's not receiving anything. Oh, right, that's because this is off, isn't it? If I turned it on, I don't even know which one it's connected to. I'm not sure which one it's connected to. Is it the internal one, or is it? It's the green. Green. Sorry, bear with me. If it's green, then it's 2.4. So that means if I connect it, right now it's on 868. If I connect it to 2.4, it should basically change to, there we go. See, 100%, 100% D-Link. So my system works, right? It's just good planning, good, real take your time with the engineering and stuff, and a lot of passion, was poured into this, this whole setup to have it all seamless, all interconnected, working. Everything works with each other, and it's pretty plug and play as well. So yeah, that's me pouring out my passion and heart into this, into all these builds and stuff. So yeah, that's the synopsis of it all. Again, any questions about my ground station or any of the other builds, and I'll try my best to respond and help you out with any problems that you're going through. But yeah, that's the end of this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. I might do some videos of me flying and whatnot if I have time. But yeah, anyways, take care, guys.